It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Good morning, Internet! Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, and give us the love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I saw a movie about a DJ, but this DJ wasn't your typical DJ. This DJ was overseas in a war zone, bro. He's DJ in a war zone. This is like next level DJ skills. Yes, we're gonna get into that. But first couple things. I want to give a shout out to Sterling Heights, Michigan. Got some plays in Sterling Heights this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Toraba. In Sterling Heights, I'm in the same state as you. I'm here in the wonderful state of Michigan. Now, I've never been to your community. I'm well aware of it. I knew people that lived there back in the day. I drove by it many times. And to be honest, I don't know much about it. But if you're from Michigan, like I'm from Michigan, I know you guys are awesome because this is a phenomenal state to be in. You know it. If you buy the D out there, you're probably doing lots of cool stuff. Now, additionally, I know that in Detroit, they're going to build that Cosm, or I talked about a couple of episodes ago. I'm so looking forward to that. So you guys are Sterling Heights, you guys are right by that area. Maybe you'll go downtown Detroit and see that Cosm, right? Experience that movies and sports like you've never experienced before. I'm looking forward to it. And so the next time I'm out that way, I'll probably have to stop by the community, see what you guys got going on out there. I got some good food, good people, good vibes for sure. So yeah, I appreciate listening to the podcast. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by my album called Always a White Belt. It's me rapping my unique style over synthy electronic type beats. I guarantee you've never heard anything like this in your life. So this particular album is about, being a white belt. And when I say being a white belt, it's like always having that beginner mindset. Because in the martial arts, the lowest belt there is a white belt. That's it. Now, full disclosure, I do have a belt. I have a yellow belt in karate. Yeah, the highest belt I ever got was a yellow belt. So I'm a karate master. Not really. But anyways, yeah, I'd like to keep that white belt mentality. Go do anything. Never too good to learn something, never too important or smart or rich to learn something. And that's what this album is all about. So if you want to hear the album called Always White Belt, I'll put them below. Check it out. Now, let's get to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get to the movie, I'm going to tell you this. Now, I've talked about this on this podcast so many times. It used to be part of the intro. I told you guys over and over again that I went to school to be a radio DJ. And I never got a job. I said that so many times over and over again. If you've been a supporter of this podcast for a long time, you already know that. You know I went to school to be a radio DJ and I never got a job. Yeah, I failed. And on top of that, I never finished the DJ courses. Honestly, I did not. I never finished my audio production. I just left and never finished. I was a failure. I quit. I just quit. I gave up. But the movie I saw this past week starred the one and only Robin Williams, starring as a radio DJ in Vietnam when the war was going on, right? So in this particular movie, they fly in, I forgot his name. The character that Robin Williams plays, he's an Air Force guy, and he's a DJ. They put him right in the war zone, right in the space, just to be a DJ, bro. Now, I never really thought about that, like the military would have DJs back then. They never crossed my mind, but apparently they did. Bro, they spit music and talk about news, right? And I was like, bro, this is like some next level DJ. Like you a DJ in the war zone, bro. Now, someone that's been practicing audio art and audio, production and editing for so many years, going way back to the days of splicing tape. I'm so old school, I used to splice tape with a razor, tape together with tape. I know how to do that. Yeah, so seeing the show and seeing Robin Williams play the job that I wanted to do, was like, oh, this is magnificent. He's spinning 45, he's spinning records, he's doing, ad reads, commercials, right? I know the old school analog equipment. It's like a time capsule, so dope. And the way that Robin Williams is on air, I mean, he's a madman. So the way he just does his comedy shtick while he's DJing is phenomenal. And I'm going to say this, I've talked about this before, Robin Williams is absolute madman. And I mean that in the best way possible. He can play so many different characters in the span of 2 minutes. He can bounce in and out of personality so easily. Now, as someone that does artistic stuff, I can do a little bit of that. I can do the voices, I can do the characters, but not on a Robin Williams level. I mean, Robin Williams is talking to himself as different characters, multiple characters. All, spur of the moment, top of the head, improv. I mean, easily. And I would even guess that the radio scenes, they probably weren't even scripted. I bet she just ad-libbed all that. Or, just kind of just did whatever you wanted. It had to be. It was the way it flowed. It had to have been that way. Now, if there was a script, I mean, I'm very impressed. Maybe he had some bullet points to touch, but I feel that had to have been all right off the top of the head. It just flowed too well to not do that. They probably say, hey, Rob Williams, here you go. Just go and do your thing. So, as someone that, like I said, that does this kind of similar stuff, doing a script like that, for me, would be difficult. I wouldn't be able to do it the way he's doing it, or do my own style with the script. He might, though. I mean, he was a high level performer. But so Robin Williams is just a comedy, entertaining genius. And in the bits he was doing on the radio, like for me, because I'm old school, they're super funny to me, right? I'm 50 years old, and I remember Robin Williams coming up and all the different things he did. He's just such an ignorant. He was just such a marvelous, entertainer. Like this is, I was talking about Chick, right? She was like, he's a bit much to deal with. Yeah, I get that. I mean, he is a bit much. Now, where I go and play and spend time with through the days and nights, and sometimes I'm around people in the community, and sometimes I get to go ahead and play and have some fun. And I imagine her play thinking like, man, Captain, you're just way too much. I'm sure they've thought this. Now, if you guys are listening to this podcast and you hear me saying this, am I right? Am I a bit too much? You may or may not listen to this. You might. Some of these people might be listening. And if you're listening, you think I'm too much? I mean, you know how I am. You're around me. Maybe I am. I'm not Robin Williams too much. Anyways, this movie, it's set in Vietnam. They filmed it in Vietnam. It's just such a magnificent. I loved it. It was so great seeing the markets and the communities in Vietnam. It's like it's a beautiful, beautiful land, right? And I know personally quite a few Vietnamese people, and they're phenomenal people. Some are born here, second, third generation. I know some, people that, came over here, that emigrated here. Phenomenal human beings. Kids are successful, great values, great people. They're smiling, just got great energy. I love these human beings. They're some of the best people I know. Yeah, and periodically they would tell me stories of Vietnam, right? And what they've told me doesn't match up with this film is showing. Like it's just such a marvelous place. One day maybe I'll be fortunate to be able to go to Vietnam and just hang out and chill, So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Good Morning Vietnam, I highly recommend it. It's just fantastic. And there's a lot of other things happening. There's a big reveal later. I'm not gonna give it away. But it's just a really good story. And you can see the art that I love. I love DJing. I love podcasts. I love audio art. This is what I do. And you can see how they did it back in the day and how it was done in that style. You just see DJing old school and see the craft that I love. So, ladies and gentlemen, I highly recommend go check this out. I saw it over Peacock, but it's probably tons of other places. So if you're not seeing Good Morning Vietnam, I highly recommend go check it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see. Now comes the mystery. Henry Ward Beecher. Till next time, it's got the peace.
The Captain Talks.